Hi guys, welcome to another pickup video. This time I have quite a large pickup, so I'm gonna try and go quickly through it. In Oslo now there's a deal on GameStop where you get 5 games for 100 kroners. So I picked up a few PlayStation 2 games there. And yeah, that's about between 2 and 3 euros per game. I picked up Fantavision. This is a puzzle game with fireworks. Where you have to combine the fireworks of the same color in succession to earn points. And I got Hunter the Reckoning Wayward. I already have Hunter the Reckoning for the Xbox, and this is the sequel to that game. It's a third-person action game with co-op gameplay, so you can play with a friend, which is quite nice. And it's kind of like a hack and slash. You can choose between 5 characters, and yeah, you run around killing zombies. It's a bit cheesy, but it seems like quite a fun game. And I picked up Kingdom Hearts 2. This is an action RPG from Square Enix. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Kingdom Hearts games, mainly because I don't know, I can't really stand the style, the character design and the emo tone. It's just so cheesy and awkward to me that I have a hard time playing it, but it's supposed to be a good game. I'm just considering if I should give it a chance, or if I should just sell it so I can get some of my money back from the other games that I bought. It's a nice foil cover here at least. And then we have Mercury Meltdown Remix. This is a port of a PSP game, and it's a bit like Marble Madness. You have to tilt the playing field to move this ball of mercury around, and in each level you have to solve a puzzle to reach the goal, kind of like Super Monkey Ball. And it's a really nice puzzle game. I would recommend picking it up if you find it. Then we have Bombastic from Capcom, also known as XI Go in Japan. This is a 2004 release here in Europe, and it's the sequel to a PlayStation 1 game called Devil Dice. So you're playing as this little devil character, and you're walking on top of this dice, and it rolls around as you walk. And as you walk around with on the dice, it affects the other dice on the playing field, so they explode. I didn't try it so much yet, but it seems nice. Alter Echo. This is a third-person action game from Outrage Entertainment. It's the same developer that made Red Faction 2. And I haven't gotten around to try it so much, but I heard it's supposed to be a good game, and I quite like the visuals and the sci-fi environments, so I'm looking forward to trying this out a bit more. Firefighter FD18. This was mentioned by another YouTuber as a hidden gem for the PS2. So I picked it up, and I've only tried it a little bit, but it seems really nice. You're playing as a firefighter, and you have to rescue civilians from burning buildings. And it plays a lot like a survival horror game. So yeah, I would recommend picking that up if you find it. And next up is Evil Dead: A Fistful of Boomstick. This is a third-person hack and slash game, and I read some reviews of it, and it got pretty much only mediocre reviews. But I was playing this for a couple of hours, and actually I got really into it. I think it's a really fun game. You run around in a city with your chainsaw and your double-barrel shotgun and kill zombies. It's quite simple fun. I would pick it up if you find it cheap. Then I picked this up at a flea market for 5 euros. The Activision Anthology, which compiles over 45 radical games in one. And yeah, Activision made some of the best Atari 2600 games, and I don't have so many of the Atari 2600 games, so it's nice to have this compilation. Well, I really like the menu in the game. It's like this kid's room where you see the old TV and the Atari in front of it, and you have a shelf with various game cards on there. So you choose a game, and then the card comes up, and you see it close up, how it actually looks, and that's really nice. And it's a nice big compilation. What I don't like about it is the rather unfitting soundtrack, hit 80s soundtrack with Blondie and Soft Cell and Twisted Sister and stuff like that. And also, I think the unlockables are kind of unnecessary, but thankfully you can ignore the unlockables and you can turn off the soundtrack, and then it's nice. Next up we have Ratchet & Clank from Insomniac Games. That's the same developer that made the first 3 Spyro games as well for the PlayStation 1. And yeah, I'm sure you all know this. It's quite a famous game. It's a really nice sci-fi 3D platformer. Plays very similar to Jak and Daxter, only with much less annoying characters. I don't know about you guys, but I find Daxter is really annoying, and I think the character design in Jak and Daxter is kind of horrible. I mean, the gameplay is really great, but that kind of pulls it down a bit for me. And thankfully this one has much nicer character design, and the voice acting is better as well, I think. So I'm happy to find that. I also picked up another Ratchet & Clank game, Size Matters, for the PSP. And I haven't tried it yet, but supposedly it plays like the PS2 games, so I'm looking forward to try that. That's it for the PS2 and PSP games. I also picked up a GameCube game this month, Bomberman Generation. I'm a huge fan of Bomberman. I pick up everything with Bomberman on the cover, and thankfully this is another good Bomberman game. It's a 3D adventure game, but it also has the 2D classic Bomberman style 4-player multiplayer mode there, so you can play this with friends as well. A really nice game. And then we have Strike Force Hydra for the PS1. I got this for €1 at a flea market, so that's the only reason I picked it up, and also because I could see from the back that it's a shoot 'em up. It's not a very good one, but for €1, well, I guess I can pick it up then. Then we have Retro Atari Classics. This collects 10 Atari Classics on one DS cartridge. I'm sure they could have fitted more than 10. I think that's kind of lame. I don't know. It's too few. And also, I don't know, I hate the cover art. What's with this graffiti style logo there? And they also included remade graphics by famous graffiti artists, and it's kind of ugly, the remakes they did, and it's very unnecessary. I think that's annoying, but well, I would only buy that one if you find it really cheap. Then we have Animal Crossing Wild World for the DS. I've wanted to get into the Animal Crossing games for quite a while, and this is the first time I've picked up one, and it's a really charming social simulation game. And there was also a game for the GameCube that came before this one. This is the second game in the series, and I've only tried it for a little bit, but it seems really nice. It's really up my alley in style and gameplay and everything. So and then we have some Super Nintendo games that I picked up really cheap. They're nothing special, but I'm just gonna go through them quickly. Star Trek Starfleet Academy. This is a Starship Bridge simulator. I think I'm not nerdy enough to enjoy that title, but picked it up anyway. We have Time Slip, which plays very much like Contra: The Alien Wars, just not as much fun, not as good. Another not so great game, The Incredible Hulk, an action 2D platformer. And Page Master. I decided to beef up my NES collection a bit, as NES is my favorite console to collect for. It's very rare that I find NES games in the wild, so I decided to pick up some of the cheaper titles on eBay. Oh, this one I bought on the flea market, but the rest I bought on eBay. And Top Gun 1 and 2, the second mission. And yeah, I never played this back in the day, but the first one, I know it's very famous for its difficulty, especially the landing sequence. And the second one is supposed to be an improvement of the first one, both in gameplay and graphics. So I'm quite happy to add those to my collection. I also picked up on eBay Kabuki Quantum Fighter. This one is really common and cheap. I bought this for €4.50 on eBay, including shipping, and I don't really know why it's so cheap, because it's really a nice 2D action platformer, and it's made by Human Entertainment. It's the same developer that made Clock Tower for the PlayStation 1 and 2, and they also made the Fireman for the Super Nintendo. Well, I would recommend to pick this up if you find it rather cheap. I also picked up Section Z, which is a game that I've been looking for quite a while. It's one of the few games that I had as a kid on my old NES back in those days, and I had really mixed feelings about it back then. It was a bit of a disappointment, because I don't know, back then the games were so expensive that it was very rare that I got to buy a new game. So I had to take one of my old games to trade at the game shop to get a new game. So I took Rygar for the NES and traded it, and then I got this one. I had to pay something in between. And I really liked Rygar, so I was kind of unhappy that I traded for this one, because even though it's a really nice shoot 'em up from Capcom, it's just so frustratingly hard, and as a 8-year-old kid I just couldn't get into it. It was just too frustrating. Also, after every level you have to choose whether to go up and down, and if you go the wrong way they send you back to an earlier level, and with only one continue and hardly any lives, and this really high difficulty, the frustration factor was just too high for me. Still, it's really nice to pick it up now and start getting all the games back that I had as a kid. For the Game Boy, I got King of the Zoo, also known as Penguin Wars in the States. I got Fortified Zone. This is a 1991 release from Jaleco. It plays a lot like Metal Gear Solid for the NES. And it's a really nice game. I would recommend picking this up. And supposedly there's a sequel for the Super Nintendo that's called Operation Logic Bomb, but I haven't seen it or tried it, so I don't know if it's any good. And yeah, as I said, I'm a big fan of Bomberman, and I found another Bomberman game, this time for the Game Boy Color. It's a Pocket Bomberman. It's a 1998 release. First came on the Game Boy, and then it was released on the Game Boy Color afterwards as a launch title. And yeah, another good Bomberman game. Finally, for this pickup video, we have Gunstar Future Heroes, also known as Gunstar Super Heroes in the States. And yeah, this is made by Treasure. It has really amazing graphics for a Game Boy Advance game. It's the sequel to Gunstar Heroes on the Mega Drive, which many of you probably know. It's a really good game. And yeah, it's a really good run and gun game, and a must-have for the Game Boy Advance. I would definitely recommend picking it up if you find it. So that's it for my pickup this time. I hope you enjoyed watching, and until next time.